The Fall River is a spring-fed gem. Its crystal-clear water glides 10 miles through pine forests and lupin-filled meadows. The river practically beckons fly fishers to cast tiny flies on delicate leaders to trout with PhDs. In places, foot traffic has worn down the riverbanks, causing erosion and loss of streamside vegetation, which is why Trout Unlimited is here for the 11th consecutive year, restoring the habitat.
With this location, we definitely know that we've got anglers that are trying to come down slope to be able to fish this water. So we wanted to be able to make sure that there's a great access point. And then we also have this beaver lodge right behind me. And we know that it's an active beaver lodge that's quite large.
People are actually walking over and not realizing what it was.
Yeah, if you're focusing on, looking at fishing the water, or if you're trying to follow your fish on the line, the tendency is that you could be just kind of working the riverbank. But with the lodge, we didn't want folks to be able to walk across it. Bit of it is that could collapse on you, could be a bit of a safety hazard, and then we also didn't want to disturb the beaver just trying to live out here in the habitat as well.
Trout Unlimited's Deschutes Red Bands chapter is on a mission to conserve, protect, and restore the cold water fisheries in the Deschutes River Basin. Here on the Fall River, they've restored 20 access points that were being loved to death. Now, 11 years into the restoration effort, they're revisiting some of the sites to fine-tune their handiwork.
So how do you stabilize these banks, maintain access, but protect sensitive things like a beaver hut?
We often are trying to read how people are naturally using the site anyway. So we'll first come out here and look, are there common routes that are the most popular that we can kind of work with? And so this one had a common route that just had to be enhanced a little bit. And what we ended up doing is just shaping it a bit. So it's got a little bit of a zigzagging pattern so that it's easier to maintain over time and it's comfortable kind of coming up.
In this spot, Trout Unlimited volunteers are installing log steps and firming up a user-made trail that was at best difficult to walk on, at worst threatening to slide downhill into the river.
Trying to reduce 95% of the impacts. So sort of slow some of the impacts, keep the habitat as healthy as possible, and still allow for access, still allow for enjoyment of these locations. So I do see some of the impacts growing in spots, and we're just trying to be able to address them now before they get too bad, where they turn into a water quality problem.
I can personally attest to the improvements Trout Unlimited has made on the Fall River. I remember what conditions were like before they started these projects. These streamside trails are safer, the vegetation is growing back, and the water quality is maintained because of all their hard work.
You're not ruining anybody's fun out here.
We sure try not to. Yeah, we're even pretty intentional about the fishing access, the backcast, right? So if there's places where we can think through how are you going to be presenting your fly in this location, right? And just like keep some of that woody material not around your backcast. That's something that we're thoughtful of. And so we try not to ruin anybody's fun, but just to protect the habitat that we all share.
This kind of restoration work is proof of Trout Unlimited's commitment to healthy river ecosystems that support thriving native fish populations and encourages local citizens to participate and appreciate the bounty of nature. From the Fall River, I'm Brooks Snavely for The Great Outdoors.